Hi, and welcome to exercise post-processing crash analysis results. This exercise uses the files truck.key and d3plot as the model and result file. Step 1. Load the truck.key and d3plot file. Set the load model file to truck.key. Set the load result file to d3plot. Click Apply to import the model and result file. Step 2. Use the results browser to create a contour plot and set the current time step. In the results browser, expand the results vector displacement folder. Select the icon to the left of Mag to contour the model with the displacement magnitude result. From the time step drop-down, select the time 0.009997 to set the current time step. Step 3. Use the results browser to create a section cut. From the results browser model view, right-click and select Create Section Cut Planar. This will create a new section cut and will open the section cut properties in the Entity Editor section. By default, a section cut is created that is normal to the y-axis. From the results browser model view, select Section 1. Right-click and select Show Manipulator. Drag the manipulator along y-axis to change the section base plane. Under Display Options, activate the cross-section only flag, then change the cross-section width of the cross-section using the scroll bar to the right. Hide displacement mag contour using the result browser result view. Using result browser model view plus entity editor, set on the global feature lines on the section created. Using result browser model view plus entity editor, set on the global transparency option. Turn on off the display of the grid from the entity editor display grid. Uncheck the flag. Turn off the display of the section cut. Step 4. Use the measure panel to create a measure group for the distance between two nodes. From the results browser model view, right-click and select Create Measure. This will create a new measure and will open the measure properties in the entity. This option will measure the distance between two selected nodes. Within the standard Pick Entities Nodes Entity Selector active, select any node on the bumper of the truck and then any node on the hood of the truck. This measures and displays the distance between the two nodes at the current time step. Uncheck the Global Transparency option to better view the node IDs and reported measure. Go to Standard, Items, Select and click on the Create Curves. This opens the Create Curves dialog where you can set the parameters for a curve. Select Live Link for y-axis, select Magnitude and for Place on select New Plot. Click OK. This creates a second window with a new plot that represents the distance between the two selected nodes over the simulation time. Select the Start Pause button to update the measure group curve. Click Start Pause Animation again to stop the animation. Step 5. Use the vector panel to create a vector plot on the right rear wheel. In the result browser, expand the result vector displacement folder. Select the icon to the left of the Mag to contour the model with the displacement magnitude result. Within the results toolbar, select Vector to enter the vector panel. Within the vector panel, make sure the result type is set to displacements. For selection, select Components. In the graphics area, select the right rear tire of the truck. Check the box for Overlay Result Display on the right side of the panel. Click Apply. Under Display tab, set Size Scaling to Uniform. Notice how the display of the vectors are updated and all of the vectors are displayed with the same size. Under Display tab, set Color by to Direction. Now the vectors are displayed with their X, Y and Z components. Click Clear Vector to remove the vector plot from the graphics area. Step 6. Use the results browser to create a new tracking system. From the results browser model view, right-click and select Create Tracking System. This opens the tracking system panel with a new tracking system added. Click on Tracking System 1 in the Tracking Systems list. For Track, select Node. With N1 active, select a node on the top of the truck cab. Select the Start Pause Animation button to animate the simulation using the tracking system. Notice how the model deforms with respect to the node selected. Click Start Pause Animation again to stop the animation. To remove the tracking system, under the Tracking Systems list, select Clear Tracking System. Step 7. Use the Tracing panel to create a tracing plot on the right 2 wheel. Within the Annotation toolbar, select Tracing to enter the Tracing panel. Under Trace, select the Component Radio button. For Component, select the right front tire and the right rear tire. Notice under Tracing mode, from first step is the default setting. This means that the trace is displayed from the first time step to the current time step. Select the Start Pause Animation button to animate the simulation and view the trace. For the Tracing mode, select All Steps. This displays the trace through the entire simulation. For the Tracing mode, select Last and set steps to 5. This displays the trace for only the last 5 steps. Select Delete twice to remove the trace for both tires. Under Trace, select the Node Radio button. With the node selector active, select a node on the top side of the right rear tire. Leave Tracing mode left to last, and for display options, set the color to black and the thickness to 5. Notice how the node path is traced. Click Delete to remove the trace. Step 8. Use the Exploded View panel to create an automatic and custom explosion. Within the Results toolbar, select Exploded View to enter the Exploded View panel. Press F on the keyboard to feed the model to the graphics area. Click Automatic Explosion in the Explosions list. Select the Start Pause Animation button to animate with the automatic explosion. Stop the animation. Click Add to create a custom explosion. Click on Components and select by ID. Enter 8 into the field and then click Add. Click Return. This adds the component with the ID of 8 to the selection. This component is the engine gearbox component. Set the mode to Translate. Under Translate, for direction, select Z-axis, and for distance, enter 100. This will translate the component 100 model units in the Z direction each time the plus or minus buttons are selected. Click plus multiple times to move the component away from the truck. Select the Start Pause Animation button to animate with the custom explosion. Stop the animation. Click Clear Explosion to reset the display. This concludes this exercise. Thanks for watching.